If 2025 was a mess academically, bad marks, inconsistent study, burnout, or just underperforming, 2026 can still be your comeback year. And I'm not just talking about motivation, I'm talking about real, measurable academic turnaround with just 3 simple steps. Quick context if you're new here. My name's Jed. I finished school with a 99.70 ATAR as Ducks, school captain, and even scored 100 out of 100 in HSC maths at just 16 years old as an accelerated student. But more importantly, I didn't get those results by just studying more. I got them by fixing how I studied. And now I've mentored thousands, literally thousands of students through my online community of Elite Achievers using the same system and spoken in so many schools throughout Sydney, helping students improve their confidence and their ability. And just for reference, just so I can show you, here are some of the results that students inside the community are getting. There's over 300 examples of results, literally 300 examples of student results. I can't make this up. And in the spirit of this comeback video, this is Zach, who I helped go from 37.5% in maths to 97.5% in maths in just 2 weeks. I'm not taking the piss, that is literally what he did. And if he can do it, so can you. So as you can see, this video isn't just theory. I'm going to show you the exact 3-part system that you're going to use to have a generational academic comeback. You're going to shock your teachers, your mates, and finally make your parents proud. First of all, we need to dig into what an academic comeback actually means. Most students say they want an academic comeback, but what they actually do is just study more hours, rewrite prettier notes, copy some productive routine, and just rely on motivation. Because more effort does not fix a broken study system. Just like how more training sessions won't get you faster at running if you're just going for jogs instead of sprinting. If you don't actually change how you study, you're just going to repeat the same bad habits. So an academic comeback is not a personality change or a discipline reset and mindset shift. It's a system change. So before I tell you the 3 tips that are going to get you your comeback, you need to actually make a shift inside your mind and stop asking yourself, how much should I be studying? And actually ask yourself, do I understand what I've studied? And a further question, am I studying properly? Because contrary to your belief, you think you're dumb, you're actually not. Smart students aren't magically smarter than you. All that it is they're clearer. They know what's solid, what's shaky, what to fix next, and actually most importantly, how to fix it. So step 1 of my 3-step plan to getting you a massive academic comeback is to install a real study system. As I said, you don't need motivation for a comeback, you need a new way of studying, because if you're still writing notes, highlighting everything, and then cramming textbook questions the night before, be honest, how has that been working for you? And if you're on this video and if you click this video, I think you know your answer. What you actually need is a real study system that actually works even when you're tired, you're unmotivated, and you're stressed. And I'm going to show you that exact system right now for completely free, and I use it myself, and it's proven by thousands of students I've taught that have used it to completely flip their grades. Pillar 1 of the system is Anki flashcards. Now let's be real. Most students feel productive when they're studying because they're just writing notes. They reread them, they highlight them, they write things all pretty, and they feel like they're studying, right? But when they walk into exams, their brain blanks. I'm sure that happens to you as well. That's not because you didn't study enough. It's because note-taking itself relies on passive recall, not active recall. Basically what that means in simple terms is you're just staring at information and not actually retrieving it and getting it in here. So when you reread your notes before the test and cram it, you're just recognizing information, not recalling it. Recognition of the person feels easy and the information, but recalling is actually what's hard. And exam tests, sorry to tell you, they don't test recognizing. You can see a formula and say, oh my God, I've seen that formula before. But if you don't know how to recall the answer and how to recall how to do the answer, you're cooked. And here's the key point. If you can't retrieve information without looking at it, you don't actually know it. So what actually works is active recall. Instead of rereading, you need active recall, forcing your brain to pull information out of your memory. Now, this isn't a preference thing, right? It's actually backed by decades of cognitive neuroscience. In a landmark study by Purdue University, students were split into 2 groups. One group repeatedly reread their notes, another group practiced retrieving information from memory without rereading. After just 1 week, the results weren't even close. Students who only reread the information only remembered about 15% of content, whereas students who practiced retrieval only once remembered about 34%. But here is the best thing. Students who practice repeated retrieval remembered up to 80% of the material. That's more than 5% of the retention with the same study time. How crazy is that? Only just 1 study session of actually studying properly, an active recall, and you double your memory results. So yeah, this isn't my opinion. Studying better will always beat studying more. So you can 5 times your memory retention just by switching methods. And here's the scary part. In the same exact experiment, students believed that rereading worked better. The students did confidence ratings before the final test, and those who did passive recall actually felt more confident and they predicted themselves to get higher scores, but their actual exam performance was far worse. And that's why so many students, and probably you included, you feel great before the test, but you bomb it and you say, bro, I didn't even know what happened. Like, I just blanked. I swear to God I studied. You're using strategies that feel good, but they don't actually build memory. So how do you actually apply active recall properly? You use flashcards and specifically Anki, because Anki is an app that does two critical things at the exact same time. Number one, as we've already spoken about, is active recall. Each card forces you to answer before seeing the solution. No hiding, no yeah, I know this. You either know it or you don't. The second thing, which I haven't spoken about, is spaced repetition. Anki actually tracks when you're about to forget each card. You rate how good you were with each card after you complete it, so it shows you right before the memory decays. Now this is important because cramming works short term, but spacing information out is actually what creates long-term memory retention. Again, research shows that retrieval spaced over time massively outperforms last-minute cramming, like you're probably already doing. And this is why my students stop forgetting content. They no longer hope that information sticks. They just train their brain to remember, and instead of cramming the night before a test, they learn something once, they reinforce it over weeks, and they never forget it automatically. And that's how you walk into exams feeling calm instead of panicked. What's even better is inside Elite Achievers, I make this so much easier because you get exact Anki decks that I use myself, decks from current and graduated 99 ATAR students, and you get clear guidance on how to use them properly. So if you're inside the community, you don't even have to build everything from scratch if you don't want to. The bottom line is active recall works, the science is overwhelming, the students' results are overwhelming, and Anki is simply the most effective way to take notes for your academic comeback. Yes, it's better than Quizlet before you ask in the comments. And that's why Anki is pillar 1 of the study system. Pillar 2 of the study system is past papers, because most students practice completely wrong. They just do whatever the questions in the textbook says, random textbook questions from their teachers, stuff that feels easy or familiar. That's not practice. You're just guessing and hoping that it works out. Like, have you ever noticed that you smash your homework questions, then you sit the exam and nothing looks familiar? Like, nothing on the exam is like you did in the practice questions in the textbook. That's not an accident at all. Textbook questions are made simple, they're neat, they're predictable, but exam questions are deliberately confusing. They're applied, layered, and actually sneaky. They're designed to see if you truly understand the content, not if you just memorized it. And also, if you're training for, say, a marathon, would you swim or would you run in practice? That's kind of what textbook questions are like. Why do them and why swim when you can do the actual questions from previous versions of the very same test you're sitting? Ace the past paper, you can ace the actual paper. So instead of textbook questions, we train with real past papers, real exam style questions, and real marking criteria thinking. Pillar 3 of the study system is the traffic light system. But now we're almost there. You've got a real study system, you're doing exam style questions, but there is still one huge problem every struggling student has. You have no idea what you actually know and what you don't. So you're going into exams with massive blind spots. And that's where pillar 3 of the study system comes in, the traffic light system. This is something that every top 1 to 2% student does. Even if they don't call it this, they're doing it in some degree. And it literally changes the game because it forces you to be brutally honest about your weaknesses. Here's how it works. Step 1 is to break everything down in something I like to call granular tracking. You're not going to track maths or English or chemistry. That's pointless, right? You track every single syllabus, dot point, and topic individually, because exams don't test the subject, they test exact concepts, right? So you either understand a concept or you don't. This is what you're going to do. You're going to get a spreadsheet with all of your syllabus dot points for all of your subjects, and once a week you're going to sit down and mark each topic as follows. Topics that are red are ones that you have no idea in. You get lost, you blank out. If this shows up in an exam, you are cooked. Orange means you kind of get it. You get some marks, but you make some dumb mistakes as well. And this is the danger zone because most students actually lie to themselves here. They think that orange is green, but really most of your topics are in orange. Now, green is the promised land. You own this topic. You can explain it. You can smash exam questions consistently with 100% accuracy, no ego, no delusion, pure honesty. Here's why the traffic light system is so good, because most students sit at their desk and think, what should I study today? Well, that's why you're falling behind. With traffic light system, there's no guessing at all. You prioritize your reds, then your oranges, then green just stays sharp with spaced repetition and Anki review over time. Now your study has direction, finally, and you're actually fixing what matters. And here's the goal, right? By the time exams come around, you want to have everything close to all greens as possible. Realistically and ideally, all greens for everything. Be honest with me, like you've probably gone into every exam so far being mostly orange, heaps of red, and maybe just a few greens. No wonder you've been stressed out and you've bombed all your exams. You walk in there with mostly orange and red, you're not going to do well. But students who walk in with mostly green, they walk in calm, they walk in confident, and they just know they've covered everything. Now, how do you judge a color? It's not on vibes, it's not on what you feel you know, it's based on actual measurable things like how well you answer past paper questions and what your percentage of getting those right are. It's also how easily you understand the content and how well you do in the Anki review for those cards. This is real performance tracking, not delusion and not just airy-fairy walking into exams and not knowing what's going on. And there we go. A full 3-pillar study system that is proven by my own 99.7 ATAR, my 100 out of 100 maths at just 16 years old, my first in all subjects, and not just me, but hundreds of elite achievers as well. Now, this video won't teach you exactly how to use Anki because it'll be way too long, so you can check out the video in the description and I'll teach you fully in depth how to use it, how to set it up, add-ons, how to make cards, everything. Step 2 of my 3-part method of having an academic comeback is to stop getting ahead. Yes, I know this sounds very counterintuitive, but this is where most academic comebacks fail because students think I've done badly, so I need to get ahead, but really, you don't. It sounds logical, it feels productive, but it's actually the worst thing you can do. And personally, I blame teachers and especially those big tutoring places because they sell you this dream of pay us heaps of money and we're gonna get you ahead of everyone so you're smarter than your friends. It doesn't work like that. Let me explain this in detail with 2 students. Student A finishes term 1, but instead of fixing gaps, most of term 1 is orange, some is red, a few things are green on the traffic light system. Student A just says, I'll just get ahead during term 2 and catch up later. So now term 1 is shaky at best and term 2 is definitely shaky because they don't have the foundations from term 1, new content is confusing, they have to cram later. This student will burn out because they're so busy and catching up and leads to major cramming for term 2, which nothing is solid and it's just horrible. On the other hand, we have student B who finishes term 1 and they actually go back and honestly check their traffic light system and see what can they answer under exam conditions, what's shaky, and what do they not understand. They use the traffic light system like I've taught them to, and they make sure that everything behind them is green. So they move into term 2 and they fix all their oranges, they fix all their reds, they turn everything from term 1 into green. Only when everything from the previous terms is green, then do they move on to get ahead. Now let's compare what happens in exams. Student A second guesses, they mix up the topics, they're not good in either topics, and they panic under time pressure. Student B recognizes all of the questions from topic 1, like the term 1 stuff, and aces it. They answer faster for those ones so that term 2, the stuff that's new and they only just recently learnt, they can stay calm and make fewer mistakes. So my rule is that seeing content before you learn it doesn't actually mean that you know it or that you're ahead. If you don't fix your gaps early, they're going to compound, they're going to build stress, and you're going to be burnt out by next term. So an academic comeback is not about getting ahead. It's about being green on your traffic light system for everything. So my rule is to always catch up first and only move on when you've earned the right. And finally, step 3 of this method is called the daily minimum. Now, this is where academic comebacks are actually built. You don't need massive study sessions, you don't need motivation, you need small, clear, non-negotiable habits every single day. For most students I teach and what I recommend, that's daily Anki reviews. Even just 20 to 30 minutes of Anki review a day, that is it. In year 12, it literally got to a point where it felt hard for me not to do Anki because the system was so automatic. I wasn't relying on discipline, I wasn't relying on motivation, it just became part of my day. And if I'm being realistic, I was just scared to lose my Anki streak. This ties into a concept from chemistry called activation energy, which is the amount of energy needed for a chemical reaction to take place. If starting studying feels hard and requires so much activation energy to start that task, you won't do it consistently. The reaction is harder. A daily Anki review and some sort of daily habit lowers the activation energy. So you open the app, the cards are already there. You don't need to decide what to study. You start and you're done. Consistency does not come from willpower. It actually comes from making study easy enough to do on your worst days. And that's what turns a bad academic year into a comeback the next year. When you start studying this way, gaps in content stop piling up, confidence quickly comes back, exams feel familiar instead of scary, and you realize just how easy school is. And eventually, you stop thinking about a comeback because you're just, quite frankly, in control. That's what high performance actually looks like. You've been sold a massive lie that school is meant to be hard. Bro, let me tell you, it isn't. And as you can probably tell by now, this system is not theoretical. It's the exact system I use myself to get a 99.7 ATAR whilst being school captain and playing first team rugby and having a social life. And it's the one that thousands of students that I've taught on social media are using and hundreds of students inside Elite Achievers are right now. The difference with Elite Achievers is that you're not doing this on your own, which you are right now. Inside the community, you get access to 99 plus ATAR mentors who actually understand the system. Not just the content, but actually how to study properly. You can ask them questions anytime, 24/7, and get same day feedback, including essay marking, so you're not waiting 2 weeks for your teacher to get back and your English teacher just gives you 2 lines of feedback and says, this is good or this is bad. No, in-depth feedback inside the community. You also get on-demand subject guides, so state ranking mentors will teach you step by step exactly how to do that subject, so a bad teacher can never be an excuse. And every week we run live calls where you can directly ask us questions and get clarity in real time. Now, here's the part that actually matters for most families. Tutoring these days, objectively, is insanely overpriced. You pay hundreds of dollars, see someone once a week, and half the time they don't even teach you how to study, they just regurgitate content. You are just getting extra homework. You're paying for extra homework. You could just ask ChatGPT for more homework. Elite Achievers cost less than a single tutoring session for an entire month. All subjects, all support, no lock-in contract, no strings attached. I know it sounds too good to be true, but if you want your academic comeback to be guided and structured in 2026 by 99 ATAR mentors who have been in your position and thrived, that is exactly what Elite Achievers was built for. If you're keen, you can check it out in the link in the description. So, if 2026 is the year that you finally want to turn things around academically, don't promise yourself more effort, promise yourself smarter effort. I'll be posting a lot more about how to actually study properly, so stick around, subscribe to my channel, and I'll guide you throughout this entire academic year. Remember, you're not behind. You've just never been shown how to actually do this the right way. And now, I'm here to help you. So I'll see you soon.